wrote a screenplay, and kind of wrote it by accident. I've been toying around with a completely different idea, and then I wrote this. So I wrote the ending, and I went back to the beginning, and I wrote the rest of the screenplay through, and I was surprised at what the story had developed, and it wasn't the story that I thought was going to develop from the end that I wrote. And I didn't write no outlines or anything like that. It was just strictly pen to paper writing, and it started off slow. And then as time went on, it became easier to write, and I was writing more and more every day, and eventually it was just like the characters were writing the screenplay. The characters were writing the script, not me. And I'd write a scene, and it would be like, no, that's not what these characters would do. And I have to rewrite it because it was me trying to control the story, and it wasn't working. I don't think I'm a great writer, but I've done something with this that I think works. And I think the story's really good. And I think that it's going to resonate with a lot of people. At least I hope so. I hope it does. So it's a drama about a young man who goes to a bar in the middle of the week with his friends, and he doesn't want to be there. He's thinking, why are we drinking on a Tuesday? It's Tuesday. You shouldn't be going to a bar. And they go, and one of his best friend drives him home, and after he drops him off on his way home to his own house, he gets into a car accident. He was hammered, and he gets into a car accident and dies. And the young man who was the last one who could have stopped his friend from driving has to live with that guilt. And he finds refuge in that same bar. And that's when the story really starts, is his struggle with, he's an alcoholic. He's in denial at the beginning of the movie. He has no idea he's an alcoholic, but he is. And then he goes into realizing that he has a problem, and then he tries to deal with that problem. And it seems like every time he's close to getting out of where he needs to get out of, something comes into his life that drives him back to the bar. And yeah, it's just the struggle of that, the struggle of addiction. And I think there's also like a factor in there about, I think there's also a part of this is about the fact that a lot of us have felt alone. And, it's about having no self-worth. And the fact that you're worth a lot more than what you think you are. That's what it's about. Well, so now it's written. I have it here. Now it's written. And it's just under 60 pages, which is not the longest screenplay I've written, but at first I was a little upset with the page count. I thought, man, this is going to be like close to an hour. And I thought, that's not ideal because movies are 2 hours long, or hour and a half, 90 minutes to 120 minutes. A page of screenplay roughly translates to 1 minute of screen time. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that this is where the story kind of breathes. It really breathes it lives at the hour mark. And I think this is going to be really fun to be able to document the whole process and, keep you guys involved, keep you guys in the loop with whatever could happen here. Almost forgot. The film is called The Regular because he becomes, well, anyway, you get it. See ya. That's cheesy. I'm not doing that. I'm going to walk off. That's a way better exit.